I'm doing a series very slowly on the FBI letter, dumbing all this down, the history, like everything. So my FBI investigation video is going to talk more about the claim related to there not actually being an FBI investigation at any point. Are you familiar with that allegation?
I finally got the call, and I'm going into the FBI.
Huh.
It's in the legal documents, but it's not very prominent. And it's even in the Annie's lab. But Kane says in various points that it was a fictitious FBI investigation. Now, it didn't make sense to me until you put a timeline why I'm saying that. Because they're disputing that. In Phoenix Rising, months before she came forward, they filmed in that second episode that there was an FBI investigation.
The authorities have contacted me. They're conducting an investigation, and they want to interview me. I just don't know when.
But they later are asking for one when she came forward. She's telling Jamie Bell that they're, giving him the contact for the FBI agent.
Yeah.
The FBI did later get involved,
Yeah.
but that's after all this.
Yeah.
But there appears to not have been an actual investigation.
Well,
Email
so
is
kind of what I remember, and you can fill me in on the timeline, is
Yeah.
this is kind of what I always figured, is because it was back when she gave her house testimony and she had the people from the house that wrote the letters on her behalf, and somebody I
Yes.
think wrote one to the FBI saying you need to open an investigation on this. And so I had always just kind of assumed that, you know, being rather Amber like, she took that and conflated it into, an investigation actually happened, or she maybe assumed that that was going to be enough to start an investigation so she can kind of rely on the fact of an investigation to make all these claims in the custody proceeding. But like you're saying, as it turns out, no, it wasn't effective to do that. They didn't start an FBI investigation. And by that point, she's, so far dug in that she's gotta fabricate this letter to back up, what she's been telling Jamie Bell.
September 2020, she does that fake pulling hair thing.
Mhm.
If you actually read the transcripts of Phoenix Rising, they very carefully say it. We've learned about an investigation, and they even use, I believe, FBI or federal or something. So it
Yeah.
does mean FBI. The stage of the FBI building. Now that screenshot in Manson's lawsuit where they are putting the letter together is November 2020. So that's what, 2 months later.
Mhm.
The custody issues start December 2020. And
Mhm.
that's when she gives the FBI agent's number to Jamie Bell.
Now is December 2020 when you say the custody issue started, that's when she started withholding the kid, or that's when Jamie
Yes.
went to court? That's when she started withholding the kid.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's filed a parentage action in January. So she's already gives him Michelle Meyer's number. On top of that, in Sean Hawley's documents for the Annie slap, she provides emails, whatever, and then he has Michelle Meyer. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Michelle Meyer who provided the declaration. Sean Hawley was leaving voicemails in December 2020 on Michelle Meyer's phone.
Yeah, it would have been Sean Hawley's declaration. I remember that.
So this is all happening at the same time. Michelle Meyer is getting phone calls from Jamie Bell, from Sean Hawley. So not
Yeah.
only did Evan give Sean Hawley the phone number, so that could lead a way for Evan to say, well, Illma made this up, but it doesn't explain that signal message between the
Yeah.
two of them. Sean Hawley, if you look, there is her emails in late March scheduling what appears to be the first time
Yeah.
that she will sit down with the FBI and the LASD for
Yeah.
an interview.
Yeah.
Months after she's saying in a film that she
Mhm.
already was doing this and showing her pulling her hair.
Mhm.
You see what I mean? And
Every time I'm like, oh God, it was so
Right.
bad. I thought she was a good actress. What the hell was that?
Well, she might be a good actress, but she's terrible when caught in a lie. When Sean Hawley and the other attorney are saying, no, there was an FBI investigation, but what King hasn't pointed out yet, very smartly, is that timeline. You then also have that Blair Burke declaration that it's saying she spoke to the agent and that there was never an investigation. So
Yeah.
there's a difference between an investigation and sitting down with someone and having a conversation. I've been sitting down with a department dealing with children.
Mhm.
Did Esme sit down with? Because she also made in her lawsuit, I read it again recently,
Mhm.
claiming that Manson tried to bring a minor to the hotel room with him.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
think that timeline would be extremely helpful and extremely eye-opening because yes, I think you're right. And I remember kind of catching some of that. I certainly remember from the anti-slap when Howard King was saying, definitively there was no FBI investigation.
mhm.
The officer, um the FBI agent denied, any kind of involvement. This isn't even a real agency that this letter is supposed to be
Yeah.
from. Uh, and then, yes, noticing the timeline of after that, Sean Hawley
Mhm.
setting up this interview. But if there was supposed to be an investigation like already happening,
Mhm.
it's just, it really didn't line up.
Groupie. They all have that in common. Some of them don't mention it,
Mm-hmm.
but some of them do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Marilyn Manson did provide some discovery, which was part of that whole sanctions thing, King said something in there very briefly, which was very significant. She was provided some discovery, which I'm assuming is Groupie because we do know from documents they had that was under seal to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
At least you could see they were challenging it from being presented to the jury. So we already knew they had them.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, when he said it in a way, was that right after there was the raid, and all the raid documents match her lawsuit.
Hmm.
What's funny is, Esme Bianco, according to those court documents, seemed to be tied to starting the investigation.
Yeah, because I remember getting that impression that the whole search warrant and stuff was gonna be based off of what Esme had said.
But it's based on Chloe Black.
Interesting. Uh-huh.
But what's interesting to me is that it appears Esme Bianco's complaint is what triggered the LASD investigation. She was the first one maybe to sit with the FBI, I'm assuming, because she did before all her interviews, but she made sure to make it known that she sat with the FBI.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure if they expected this hoax to go that far.
I mean, I don't know how you sit down and start talking to law enforcement and not expect that it's gonna go sideways.